Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are at GPeC Summit, and I have next to me Talia Wolf. Hello, Talia.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great. I'm enjoying a lot. It's a great day.
How was the event so far? How was the presentation?
It's amazing. First of all, it's snowing, and I haven't seen snow in years, which is really cool. But the presentation was great, and people were so engaged, and so many amazing, lovely questions, and I just enjoyed it a lot. It was a great place to be at. Yeah.
So this means you'll join us next year as well, maybe?
If I get invited, I will definitely come for sure.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about e-commerce and what are the most frequent mistakes marketers are doing when looking at conversion rate optimization.
Well, I think one of the biggest mistakes is that we're not paying enough attention to our customers, and a lot of the things that we do, especially in conversion optimization, is we find a leak in the funnel and we read a blog post or we guess what needs to be optimized, and then we just do that. So the biggest mistake is really not having a process and thinking about how to build a better methodology that actually helps you optimize your website. A lot of the work that I spend doing is helping my clients understand who their customer is and how they can solve their problem. Because 99% of the time when you solve your customer's problem, you're also increasing your own conversion rates. So for me, that is the biggest thing.
What can you tell us about behavioral data? How can marketers use this data in order to increase leads and maybe conversions as well?
Well, I think behavioral data is really important, and it's our gateway towards understanding what the problem is within your funnel, first way. And the second thing, it also helps you segment customers later on. But I really am a true believer that behavioral targeting isn't enough. You really have to go one step further, because your clients aren't just gender and age and geographical location. There's so much more. So you can use these behavioral data points in order to segment your customers, in order to find the leaks in the funnel, but you need to use emotional targeting in order to address those problems. So behavioral targeting helps you find the problem, but it doesn't help you fix it.
And what would be your piece of advice regarding these emotional data and these other metrics that marketers should look at when establishing their strategy?
Well, basically is that you have to do your research. So don't skip any of the most important parts. You need to speak to your customers, you need to speak to your clients, you need to speak to your staff, you need to do competitive research, you need to dig into the psychological profiles, build personas and profiles of customers in order to get to know them better. These are all foundational things that you need to do in order to solve the problems of your customers.
And what about the customer journey? What would be the best approach? How do you plan the right way your approach regarding this customer journey?
Well, again, for me, it's all about the research that I'm doing. So essentially what I first do is I dig into the numbers. I find the leak that's in the funnel. I try and identify the pain points. Then I start coming up with theories and hypotheses of what can I do to fix it. And these hypotheses and fixes are to do with my customers. So what is the problem? I can see a technical problem, but what can it be, and what is the strategic issue here, and how can I solve it, and how can I solve my customers' problems? And then, only then, do I go and start designing and changing stuff and prioritizing the test and thinking if it's going to make sense or not. And only then do I actually launch an A/B test. So there's a lot to do before you actually go forward and start testing.
You were speaking at the beginning that we used to read blogs and to follow, marketers and specialists in this field. What are your, primary source of information when it comes to people that and digital marketer specialists that we should follow?
Well, I think everything that you read, you need to take with a grain of salt, as they say. You're reading someone else's best practice, so you can get ideas from it, you can be inspired from it and use it, but you have to test it. And the people that I follow are, for me, they're amazing because I've learned so much from them. I follow Craig Sullivan and Joanna Weeb and Brian Eisenberg, and I follow Pep Laya, and so many amazing people who have done a lot of work and have spent a lot of time building a process and a methodology for optimizing.
Why we should not miss you here at the GPeC? How people should approach you and ask you for a piece of advice or for?
Well, I mean, I'm here today and tomorrow, so for me, the most important thing is answering everyone's questions. My take on it is that I really want to help people take conversion optimization from tactics of changing a call to action button to an actual strategy that helps you grow your entire business. And I think that if you follow the presentation that I did today and the steps that I built, and if you come speak to me, you'll be able to do that when you go back to the office on Wednesday or Thursday and start implementing a lot of the stuff that I spoke about.
Talia, we thank you so much for joining us. It was our pleasure, and for giving us a few minutes of your time to
Thank you for having
share your
me.
experience. Thank you so much, and see you here.
See you soon.